Hi everyone, and welcome to this new video. Today's topic is something deeply human and often invisible: imposter syndrome. It affects many talented, capable people, yet very few openly talk about it. Our goal today is to create awareness, to understand what it is, how it affects us, and most importantly, how we can overcome it, both personally and professionally. So, let's start with the basics. What exactly is imposter syndrome? It's a psychological pattern where someone doubts their own abilities, talents, or accomplishment and fears being exposed as a fraud. Imagine getting a big promotion and immediately thinking that was a mistake, or winning an award but secretly believing you didn't deserve it while you're on stage thanking people to give it to you. That's what it feels like. The phenomenon isn't new. The origin of imposter syndrome. It was first described by two psychologists, Pauline Clance and Susan Imes, in 1978, who noticed it was particularly among high-achieving women. So where does it come from? Early family dynamics, like being labeled the smart one or the responsible one, or cultural pressures where perfection is expected. Internal traits like perfectionism or high sensitivity. All these can lay the groundwork. For example, my parents taught me when I was a child that I was named Emmanuel because in Hebraic it means God with us. Wow. And that they really wanted to have me because they lose twins few years before. Sounds pretty reassuring and pretty warm, but I have got no memory of cuddles or love or interest on me on what I was doing, and more punishment or lack of interest memory. I was a little busy child, to be fair. And that's come from and lays the imposter syndrome growing in me. What is the impact on individual? Imposter syndrome isn't just a passing doubt. It has real consequences. It can cause chronic self-doubt, paralyze decision-making, trigger perfectionism, lead to overworking to prove yourself, or, and you know it, procrastination out of fear. Over time, it wears you down emotionally and mentally, setting the stage for burnout. Left unchecked, it doesn't just impact careers, it touches every part of our lives. In a professional setting, imposter syndrome can be a silent career killer. Employees may avoid applying for promotions, not speak up with ideas, hesitate to negotiate salaries, or say yes to too much work out of fear of being found out. Studies show it can lead to decreased job satisfaction, less visibility, and higher burnout rates. So tell me, have you ever hesitated to volunteer for something you knew you could do simply because you weren't sure you were good enough? Answer in the comments. Thank you. And it doesn't stay at the office door. In personal life, imposter feelings show up as doubting your abilities as a parent or partner, feeling like you're pretending in friendship, abandoning hobbies or dreams because you think you're not real or not talented enough. It creates a life where anxiety, perfectionism, and shame quietly run the show. So, who struggles with imposter syndrome? Short answer, almost everyone. Research shows about 70% of people will experience it at some point. It affects both men and women. It's especially common among high achievers, first-generation professionals, minorities, and marginalized groups, because when you feel like the only one in a room, self-doubt is amplified. Let's ask to experts an accurate definition. The Dr. Valerie Young, an expert on imposter syndrome, explains that it's not a clinical diagnosis, it's a pattern of thinking. Specialized since 1982, she helps a lot of people and talks about it in her book, The Secret Thought of Successful Woman, where she described the 5 types she defined. She also have created the Imposter Syndrome Institute, a renowned place. Claire Josa, another well-known expert, points out that it's a learned behavior, which means it can be unlearned. She helps and mentors people since 2003, written 8 books, and talk about ditching the imposter syndrome in her last book. This gives us hope. It's not permanent. It's not who we are. It's something we can change. So let's talk about those type of imposter. The perfectionist. Perfectionists set unrealistically high standards for themselves and feel like failure when they don't meet those expectations. They often fixate on minor details and struggle to acknowledge their achievements, which can lead to burnout. Another one is the expert. The expert, this type, feels compelled to know everything in their field and often avoid taking on new roles for fear of being unqualified. They may downplay their accomplishments and feel that their knowledge is never sufficient. Another one is the natural genius. Natural geniuses believe that success should come easily. When they encounter challenges, they may feel inadequate and question their abilities, struggling with the notion that hard work is essential for success. Another one is the soloist. Soloists prefer to work independently and often hesitate to ask for help, fearing it will reveal their perceived incompetence. They believe relying on others is a sign of weakness. And the last one, but not least, is the superhero. Superheroes feel the need to excel in every aspect of their lives, from work to personal commitments. This often leads to overwhelming stress and anxiety, as they fear they will be found out if they can't meet their high expectations. So, tell me, do you recognize yourself in some of those descriptions? Identifying imposter syndrome can sometimes be tricky, as it often manifests in subtle ways. Here are some common signs to look out for. Self-doubt, a consistent belief that you are not as capable as others perceive you to be. Fear of exposure, anxiety about being found out or unmasked as a fraud, which can lead to avoiding new opportunities. Downplaying success, attributing personal achievement to external factors like luck instead of acknowledging your skills or effort. Overworking, compensating for feelings of inadequacy by working excessively on tasks in project. Perfectionism, setting impossibly high standards and feeling disappointed when you don't meet them. If you notice several of these signs in yourself, it may be beneficial to explore ways to address imposter syndrome. Remember, you are not alone. Let's fight it. Acknowledge your feelings. Catch yourself when you feel like a fraud, understand that feeling like an imposter is common and that you're not alone in your self-doubt. Recognizing these feelings is the first step in addressing them. Challenge negative thought. It is really true? Identify and confront cognitive distortion. Keeping a journal to track your successes and the positive feedback you receive can help you see your worth more clearly. Set realistic goals. Instead of aiming for perfection, set achievable and realistic goals. Break larger tasks down into smaller steps and celebrate your accomplishment along the way. Seek support. Connect with mentors, colleagues, or friends who can offer encouragement and validation. Sharing your feelings can help normalize your experience and provide reassurance. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Recognize that failure is a natural part of learning and growth. Reframe setbacks as opportunity for improvement rather than reflection of your abilities. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and recognize that everyone makes mistakes. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend facing similar challenges. Limit comparison. Try to avoid comparing your journey to that of others. Each person's path is unique, and focusing on your own growth can help mitigate feelings of inadequacy. Visualize success. Use visualization techniques to imagine yourself succeeding in various situations. This practice can help build confidence and reduce anxiety about future challenge. The good news is that you don't have to deal with it alone. Support comes in many forms. Coaching helps you recognize and break the cycle. Therapy helps heal deeper emotional wounds. Peer group remind you that your feelings are normal but not accurate. Coaching is a powerful tool, especially transformational coaching, which focus on real mindset shift. At Awaken-Phoenix coaching, the focus is not just managing imposter syndrome, but transforming it into self-confidence, sustainable success, and authentic living. As we wrap up, I invite you to take a moment to reflect. Are you seeing some sign in yourself? What's one step you could take today? Maybe celebrating a win or talking about it with someone. Remember, feeling like an imposter doesn't mean you are one. It simply means you're human and growth is possible. In summary, understanding imposter syndrome is key to fostering self-acceptance and personal growth. By recognizing its sign, acknowledging its prevalence, and exploring strategies to overcome self-doubt, we can cultivate a supportive environment that encourages individuals to embrace their achievements. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, your attention, and your willingness to explore this topic with me. Together, we can build workplaces and communities where people are celebrated for who they really are, not just for who they think they should be. I'm happy to open to any question or thought you might have. Please feel free to reach out via comments or by sending an email. You can also like this video, follow me, and click on the bell. And keep in mind that if you or someone you know is grappling with imposter syndrome, help is always available. Engaging with mental health professionals, attending workshops, or joining support group can provide valuable resources for navigating this experience. Be aware, be kind, be human. Thank you.